Hello and welcome. I'm Amritan Shirai and you're watching Law of the Land on Raj Sabha TV. Today we bring to you the Narcotics, Drugs and Psychotropic Substance Amendment Bill 2011. The bill seeks to enhance the punishment for the offenders and makes provision to attach their property. To discuss the issue, I have with me Dr. Rajesh Kumar, Executive Director, Society for the Promotion of Youth and Masses. The bill seeks to insert provisions attaching property of drug peddlers even if the property has not been acquired by drug money. The bill enhances the penalty for offences committed for the second time. A person's term of imprisonment shall be extended to 1.5 times the term he can be convicted for. The Standing Committee on Finance recommends making death penalty one of the options for the court. Says amend section to read may be punishable with death in place of shall be punishable with death.
Parliamentary Standing Committee recommended that mandatory death penalty under NDPS Act is unconstitutional and it should be applied only to the rarest of the rare cases.
The Standing Committee has also recommended enabling compounding of unintended or inadvertent non-compliances or procedural lapses to address undue harassment faced by legally authorized manufacturers, dealers, traders and handlers. Is there something known as not intending to do anything on as far as the drug scenario in this country is concerned? Dr. Rajesh, is there a possibility of someone getting into that or qualifying for the parameter of not intending to do a procedural lapse or violate the law? Is there anything of that kind as far as the drug space is concerned?
I'm not sure it is possible because you see now the pharmaceutical drugs and the drug use and illicit drugs, these are two different things. And sometimes pharmaceutical drugs are very different from the user's perspective and from the supplier's perspective than the drug intended for the trafficking and misuse and abuse at the street level. So these are two different things, and I think what committee has done is a good job.
Move on to the next thing. The point that one of our experts made was arrest college-going kids, which essentially means they are the ones who actually, out of experiment or inquisitiveness, intrigue or whatever, they are caught trying these things. Now a small quantity will now be defined according to the existing amendments, which will include, so if a drug is caught with glucose or other things, it will also be included as drug, which will increase the chances of his punishment and the number of years behind bars. Do you think that's the way to go?
No, it should not be. See, one thing is very clear. We should not criminalize young drug user or any drug user per se. That is very important. Number two, we understand at the street level what police does. Now, who knows? Tomorrow I might be caught, like with very, very small quantity, and then X amount of glucose could be mixed, and then tomorrow I will be produced in the court, and the court has no option, because this amendment has to be understood that number one, we must decriminalize the users. See, the users might be victim of a particular situation, and that has to be appreciated by not only by the by the law but the country as a whole, because neither we have capacity or nor we can assume that. Suppose we have 10 lakhs users in the country. Can we put all these 10 lakhs users in the jail? We can't. So we should create an atmosphere where the drug users could be sent for the treatment, could be provided various options, but they should not be criminalized that once they are in jail for whole life, they will carry this stigma. Employment opportunities will be in trouble. The family relations with other, because India is a very strong family bond.
So the point you're trying to make is that it should have a health-oriented and a human right face should
Absolutely
be
right.
at the core, at the point one of the doctors
Absolutely
from AIIMS was
right.
making.
The major flaw of the NDPS amendment bill is that now all the low drug users will come under the same category of high drug users.
Dr. Rajesh, do you think what the Standing Committee has pointed out relating to small and commercial needs to be spelled out more clearly? And if it is spelled out, how is it going to help?
So it is going to impact in a very big way. The reason is, small quantity means always for the user. Now, if the user perceive that what is a small quantity. It could be a quarter gram, it could be 1 gram, it could be 5 grams. And they are not intending for the international, the crime at the national or international level. So I think the small quantity should be defined in a way that consumer should not be harassed. Consumer means user. And we should certainly focus on the people, those who are actually trafficking and creating
Peddling.
law and order problem, narco-terrorism. All those people should be certainly attacked and they should be brought to the justice. But the people, those who are at the street level, should not be punished.
The standing committee has said that this, what the government has done in its amendment is reduced it to 6 months for for consumers. Earlier it was 1 year for the consumer and 6 months for the peddler. Yes. So now they have kind of brought it down and made it equal to 6 months. So both the peddler and the consumer now will get 6 months jail. What the standing committee has said is, why are you decreasing it? Why don't you increase it to 1 year and make the consumer go to jail for 1 year and also the peddler goes to jail for 1 year? Do you find sense in that?
See, if you ask me, since we are working with a drug user for quite some time, we should not give any punishment to the drug user. I give you a simple example. SPOM is running a center for children. Now, children, those who are just 10, 11, 12. Now, who gave them drug? It is the society gave them drug. The family was not aware about the whole process. Now, this child who is just 12 years or 13 years using drug, do you think that we should give him a 6 months punishment as per the NDPS Act? We should not. So, we must understand those who are earning money by selling drug, you have every right to punish them. But those who are user at the street level because of ignorance, now tell me how many schools have a program on drug education? Very few. So these are the issues for the drug users. First, we need to prevent, number one. Number two, those who are on drug use, they should be given various options for the treatment, and those who are out from the drug should be sent for various other educational options, like if they have missed their school, like a 12-year child who has been using drug for 2-3 years must be out from the school. So these are the options should be provided even under the law, because then it is mandated for a school to ensure that if the awareness program is there, if someone is on drug.
Dr. Rajesh, the question that the point that you're making about responsibility of drug use and the way forward.
Now, since we have a right to education, and we presume that in next 5 years' time, most of our children will be in school. So the basic responsibility of the school about education, awareness, engagement of these young people, because prevention is very important, and we need to close the floodgate to the young. See, large number of
what you're pointing out is education from school level itself, and it should be made part of the curriculum.
And the engagement of family, because it is the family, by the time they know that my child is on drug, it's too late.